On a sweltering Tuesday afternoon, Leila Nkrumah stepped through the gleaming gates of Azure Court Residences with her children, Zara and Kwame, walking close behind. Azure Court was the kind of compound where the walls had ears and the residents had a PhD in other people's business. 4 tall blocks of flats faced a large, sun-bleached courtyard where rumors traveled faster than harmattan dust. The moment Leila entered, laptop bag over one shoulder, suitcase in hand, the entire compound seemed to freeze. Zara held a box of kitchenware, while little Kwame struggled valiantly with a travel bag nearly taller than he was. Above them, on the first-floor balcony, stood Madame Stella, the compound's self-appointed surveillance officer. Leaning over the railing, she whispered loudly enough to be heard by anyone within 10 meters. "Oh, another single mother. This country is hard enough, now we'll have more people who just came to manage life," she declared with authority. Ada and Chinedu, her loyal companions in gossip, nodded eagerly. "Look at her face," Ada said. "She looks too tough. Her husband must have run away." "These single mothers always have secrets," Chinedu added. "She probably couldn't run a proper home." Leila heard every word, but she kept walking. She had long mastered the art of dignified silence, a language louder than any insult. Kwame stumbled on the rough pavement. Leila steadied him quickly and whispered, "It's all right, sweetie. God has a plan, even when life looks blurry." Zara, noticing the stares from other children, clutched her mother's hand. "Mommy, will they hate us here?" Leila bent to her level and smiled gently. "People don't have to like you before you succeed. Be kind. Be patient. Everything will work together for your good." The moment their door closed behind them, Madame Stella clapped dramatically. "Mark my words, she's running from something." Despite the hostile welcome, Leila settled into a quiet routine. Each morning she prepared her children for school, returned home, and worked relentlessly on her laptop, crafting proposals, analyzing market projections, and building expansion models for her farm. Because she stayed indoors, the neighbors concluded she was jobless. Soon, the compound children began mocking Zara and Kwame, calling them children without a full house. Madame Stella watched Leila daily, convinced her quietness hid something criminal. Weeks later, Mr. Kojo Mensah, the property manager, summoned everyone to the courtyard. Due to rising costs, he puffed, the maintenance fee will increase by 40% next month. Gasps erupted. 40%. Are we building a stadium? Someone shouted. Madame Stella glanced pointedly at Leila's apartment. Some people can barely pay the old fee. This increase will send them packing, she said with wicked delight. Leila stepped out calmly with her children. Mr. Kojo addressed her directly. Some tenants must decide if they can afford to stay here. This is not a charity home. I understand, Leila replied. I will pay the new rate, as always. Madame Stella laughed loudly. Pay with which money? Magic. Leila ignored the laughter and returned inside. Days later, Kwame came home with a bleeding lip. Zara explained that another child had called them children of a nobody. Kwame defended them, and a fight broke out. Leila embraced them tightly. You are not defined by foolish words, she said. You will overcome with success, not anger. That evening, a compulsory community meeting was called. Mr. Kojo began, some tenants do not join meetings or cleaning rosters. They act too important. All eyes turned to Leila. Madame Stella sprang up. She thinks she's better than us. She hides in her apartment like she's the president of something. Leila stood. I apologize if my silence offends anyone. I work under intense deadlines. I am simply trying to build a better life for my children. We don't want excuses. Madame Stella backed. Mr. Kojo nodded. If you cannot participate, perhaps you should find another place to live. Leila simply said, thank you. noted, and walked away. Later that week, Leila prepared for a major virtual meeting with Mr. Ethan Cole, an international investment partner. 2 minutes before the meeting, the power grid failed, plunging the compound into darkness. Lighting a candle, she joined the call. Her voice was firm. If we secure the Phase 1 property, projected returns will rise by 80% in 18 months. Madame Stella, pretending to check a fuse box, pressed her ear to Leila's door. She nearly fainted when she heard Mr. Cole reply. Excellent, Leila. Once the final contract is signed, we'll begin acquisition of Azure Court Residences next month. Within seconds, Stella screamed across the compound. She's a scammer. She wants to steal this building. Emergency. Panic erupted. By evening, a furious crowd confronted Leila. You have 2 weeks to leave, Mr. Kojo announced. Zara cried, but Leila held her close and whispered. It is well. The next morning, the compound gate opened, and 3 luxury vehicles drove in, 2 silver sedans and a black Mercedes S-Class. Executives stepped out. Is this robbery? Chinedu whispered. Maybe she's been arrested, Stella trembled. A tall man in a tailored suit approached. Good morning. Which apartment belongs to Miss Leila Nkrumah? Leila stepped out. He smiled. The board has approved your proposal. We are here to finalize the acquisition of this property. This property. Mr. Kojo stuttered. Azure Court. Yes, Mr. Ethan Cole replied. Miss Nkrumah is the lead consultant on the project. One of the most brilliant strategists we've ever worked with. From today, she becomes the new property owner. Silence crushed the compound. Madame Stella dropped her bow. Kojo nearly collapsed. Madame Leila, I'm so sorry, he begged. You didn't know, Leila replied softly, and that is the danger of judging people too quickly. She looked around the courtyard. I won't evict anyone. Hardship is real. But from today, we must learn to treat each other with dignity. Madame Stella fell to her knees. Forgive us. I was blinded by foolishness. Kwame grinned proudly. That's my mom. 2 weeks later, renovations began, fresh paint, repaired walls, new tiled pathways. Leila oversaw everything with grace and competence. Her children laughed freely in the courtyard that once mocked them. And each time she walked through Azure Court, everyone now greeted her with genuine respect. They had finally learned the truth. They didn't just bully a woman. They bullied a queen hiding in plain sight.